Greetings, everyone. Normally, we do this show much earlier in the week, but it's been a crazy week, as you all know. It started with the crazy events of Monday night. Shout out to Damar Hamlin. Glad he is on the mend and awake, and starting to get some of his faculties back. It's kind of cool that he came up and he's like, "Did we win?"
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. It shows kind of where his the dog in him is, and we wish him the best. And it kind of sucks that they're canceling that game, because I think there were still some opportunities for Cincinnati to do their thing and the Bills possibly to do their thing. Still a little bit of that for the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs have pretty much got it locked up now, as long as they can take care of business. But the Bills still have an outside shot. That the Bengals, though, are eliminated from the opportunity at that number one seed now that they've canceled that game. But there's plenty of other stuff to talk about, even though there are a bunch of games that are completely meaningless this weekend. There are a
Yeah.
handful that are really, really intriguing in terms of like playoff implications and seeding and who's going to get in, who's going to get out. And we're going to get right into it and give you our takes on this not so early lines show for week 18.
Yeah. Prayers up for Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all glad that he's showing good signs and good signs of improvement. I mean, that's huge. The way it was looking Monday night, it wasn't looking like there was going to be any of that. So, there was definitely prayers answered in that situation, and hopefully everything stays on the right trajectory and all that. I don't want to talk about that for longer than we need to, though. Hopefully he's doing good and everything. And yeah, with the scheduling, I mean, there was like no right answer. There was no perfect answer.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to my buddy a couple of days ago before they actually decided what they were going to do. And I was like, look, there's no perfect answer. Some team's going to get fucked. They're just going to have to grab their balls and play football. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Well, and the Bengals did it last year. They went all the way to the Super Bowl playing like damn near all road games.
That's true. So
like
they're comfortable here, maybe.
They're comfortable.
But, yeah, I don't think anybody I don't think the Bengals are more concerned with that than how T. Higgins is feeling and how Damar's feeling and things like that.
Right.
It gets to a real point at a certain point, and so
absolutely
we can say that, but there was no perfect answer no matter what they did. If they move everything back a week and do that way, then all the TV deals and things like that get messed up with the playoff schedule, and there was just no real right answer. But let's get into this. We got our not so early picks here. I'm going with one tomorrow. Really not early, but there's really only a couple games on the board that matter that we can even look at. So I got to look at this one. Titans at Jags. I'm taking the over 39.5 points. The Jags, they've been putting up points left and right. They're capable of doing it. They put up like 28 without Trevor Lawrence throwing a touchdown pass, all running touchdowns. It's like they were trying to get all the running backs a touchdown before the season ends, because they were just handing it off left and right. The Titans, they were even able to put up 13 points with their third-string quarterback against the Cowboys. There was 40 points in that game total. Look, I just think this game actually matters, so I might as well bet on one that matters. And both teams are going to be fighting for a win. Hopefully that results in some points. We know what the Jags offense is capable of. Titans offense, not so much, but King Henry will be playing. Maybe King Henry busts a couple, gets him down close to the end zone. They cash a couple in, and we get 40 points here. So I'm going to rock with that for my pick, my first pick.
Yeah, word. I don't mind that. It's tough to pick. I mean, this thing opened up at Titans -3. And now it's flipped all the way to the other side where it's Jags -6.5. So trying to pick a side on this one when we don't really know how, if it gets to a point where the Jaguars see the grand scheme of things and say, all right, we're going to back off because we got this game in hand. We might still have a Titans backdoor cover late because they've pulled Trevor Lawrence like they did last week. A bunch of other stuff.
I don't think they'll do that this week, though.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. If they're up 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes left or something like that, or a minute and a half left, I agree. You just never know. So
I like the Jags to win this one. So you're completely right.
I do too.
6.5. There was no way I was backing 6.5 here.
Right.
So I'm with you. I get what you're saying for sure.
And then on the other, but then I don't want to back the 6.5 for the Titans either, because it's just like, well, the Jags could blow them out like what they did last week, and I know it's not the same, but still, it's this Jaguars team is firing.
Remind me when we do
over under is better.
When we do our show tomorrow morning, remind me to take a look at those bands, those win bands, because this might be a perfect one to go like Jags by 1 to 13.
We're doing that. Wait, we're doing that tomorrow or Sunday?
This game's Saturday night, so.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the game. There's like a bunch more games on Sunday. There's only 2 games on Saturday.
Yeah, so that's what I meant when we talk about this game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we doing a show tomorrow? Or are we doing?
We got 2 games.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna. I don't know.
Okay.
Up
All
to
right.
you.
All right. All right. Well, I'll remind you. All right. Yeah. No worries. Okay. So moving along. What you got? What's the next one up? Oh, this one's mine. Okay. So yeah. So I like. Now wait a second. I got. Where is it? I got to go find it here. Yeah, I got -2 on DraftKings, man. Steelers -2. So I'm taking my hook. And I'm chopping that half a point off because it's -2 on DraftKings. I can pull it up right here for you if you want.
No, it's all good. You got it.
I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win, motherfucker. Because we're close. The standings are close. We both we had the same record last week, so we're the distance has stayed the same. And so I look at this one and I just see this Steelers team similar to the Jaguars playing a lot better lately. And again, it's like we talked about last week. It was always going to be Mike Tomlin finding a way to keep that string alive of never having a losing season. And now the Steelers are primed to make the playoffs with a win and finish at 9-8. I don't see the Browns pulling this off. They've been playing really erratically with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. And I know they'll bring Jacoby Brissett in here and there for short yardage and some other gadget type stuff. He's kind of like their Taysom Hill at this point almost, even though he's a much more capable actual quarterback. I think they would have been better off just letting him continue to ride things out the rest of the way. They may have even made the playoffs. I don't know. But the Browns, this spread is low enough, low enough where rather than take the money line and eat that juice, I'll just go ahead and do the spread here at -110 for the -2. I like the Steelers to win this game by at least a field goal. So keep the string running. Mike Tomlin, if they win this game, I see them winning it by at least that. And I don't think it's going to be one of those 1 or 2 point games.
Yeah, no, but, I hear you. And the Steelers,
but I will take my hook off. I don't want that 2.5.
Just in case.
Just in case I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, the Steelers were 2-6 at one point, if I remember correctly. It's insane that they're in the playoff hunt right now, let alone playing for that winning season for Tomlin. So I completely agree. This is one I took a close look at. I was going to pick this one. Well, I was thinking about picking this one because I agree. I mean, they got to go out and get that win. At this point, you came this far. You got to end it off for Mike Tomlin at this point. And the win gives you a chance. It's a long shot, but it gives you a chance at the playoffs. You just need a couple things to go right. So,
and George Pickens is starting to come into his own as like a really reliable target, not just that rookie with upside, but like a guy who Pickett can rely on. And that defense is really playing well lately. So I like them to keep things going and maybe even be a dangerous first round opponent for somebody. So we'll see how that works out. What we got next?
This is the fun one here. We got the Lions at the Packers. The Packers are 4.5 point favorites at home Sunday night. I have a little theory because if the Seahawks lose, then this game decides that last playoff spot in the NFC. If the Seahawks win, then the Lions are pretty much just playing to spoil Aaron Rodgers and keep him out because the Lions win won't get them in. It'll just put the Seahawks in at that point. So I have a theory that the NFL would love for the Seahawks to lose this week. Hint, hint. Maybe take the Rams. I don't know. I'm just saying because it would make a lot of sense. It would be a lot. It would be very, better, easier to market that Sunday night game if it's like, hey, this is to get into the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers versus the Lions. I mean, they can hype that up. Whatever. Me and
I'll say this:
opposite sides here.
Yeah, I was up in that area of the country earlier this week. I was up in Idaho, and right there I drove over from Spokane, Washington. And man, the Seahawks fans up there are bent about the fact that this game is being played before the Packers-Lions game because they're like, yeah, but if the Seahawks win, then the Lions don't have anything to play for, and then they're not gonna play to help us. It's like, oh well, should have won some games earlier in the year. Like, shut the hell up. I get it, but
understand they're not gonna play to help us. Like, what does that have to do with it? Like, they're not going to just bench their starters because they don't have a chance at getting in. It's the last game. They have nothing else to do. They're going to play football, right?
I know, but
I don't understand that point.
Yeah, it's still not the same though. It's not the same motivation as when the Packers really want it because they want to get into the playoffs, and the Lions come the third quarter, they're like, nah, bro.
At the end of the day,
It's Cancun time now.
At the end of the day, man, you're the Lions. The Seahawks lose, and you still have a chance to keep Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs. You don't think you want to do that?
Yeah, division rival. I get it and everything,
Dude,
but I just
at that point when you have nothing else to play for, but you're playing in that situation. I mean, that's gold. I mean, look at you, like you said earlier pre-show when we were talking. It's a long shot, but the Raiders spoiling the Chiefs number one seed isn't out of the question.
No,
we saw how they came out and played last week. Now, you know what I mean? Like,
and Jarrett Stidham is like, he played legit, man. I was impressed.
Yeah, so
that dude was on fire.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that even if the Seahawks, win, then the Lions are still going to show up, in my opinion.
And that's why. Yeah, that young team, that young Lions roster with all that talent that they have, they're definitely capable of, like, look, this is a chance for us to start,
try to keep it rolling into next year and whatnot.
Going into next year, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And that's why, no matter what happens in that Seahawks game, I like the Lions plus 4.5 here. And Chad's taking the Packers minus 4.5. I had to set it up this way. It actually
the whole thing is going to go down like this.
It worked out perfectly. This is going to be for the
deciding factor for this contest.
For the Packers, it's going to be the deciding factor for the Packers and the Lions to get in, and this regular season contest here.
That's right.
And it works out perfect. I hope both of our bets hit in the beginning.
Absolutely.
The problem is if we both go 2-1, you will still get the dub because you're at a higher unit percentage right now as we speak. So
yeah,
I might get screwed on that, but all good.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is
why do you think the Packers are going to win by 4.5 though?
I just like the Packers to eventually boat race them. All right, so here's my scenario. Now, if you're right and the Seahawks actually lose to the Rams, then it gets to be even more. There's more motivation for the Lions, obviously, right? Because they a win and they're in.
Yeah.
And then the Packers are kind of scrambling, right? So it's not as
well. The Packers are winning in regardless. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is that the Packers are. So if the Packers lose, though,
they're out.
Then they're out, and so then they're motivated.
If the Seahawks win, they need a Packers loss. If the Seahawks lose, then the Lions are in with a win. If the Seahawks win and the Lions tie, if the Lions, if they tie or win, they're going to get in if the Seahawks lose. It's complicated, but the Packers are the only ones that control their own destiny. Packers win, they're in.
So here's why I think 4.5. I think that the Seahawks win against the Rams, first of all. And then second of all, I think that once you get to that point, the Packers are in a position where they've got to really they can't leave anything up to chance. So I don't like when a game is in a situation like that. I don't ever like the dog to be keeping that close, because to me this is the Packers are just going to have their foot on the gas the entire game, because I've seen this happen before. It was crazy. In our Super Bowl, or it was a post Super Bowl contest. So, the Super Bowl would be like the second to last week of the season in fantasy football. And then the last week we had this big free for all where everybody puts money in the pot, and then you start a lineup, and whoever scores the most points gets all the money. Well, I had Dorsey Levens, Bill Schrader, Steve Berline, and Patrick Jeffers all playing in a game with the Packers and the Panthers playing against each other. And they were trying to score the most. They were trying to win, and they were trying to score as many points as possible, because they had all the different tiebreakers with points and everything else. So they went off. Like Dorsey Levens had 4 touchdowns. Jeffers had 2. Schrader had 2. Like Berline threw for 5 or something like that. So I could see like the Packers in that same type of scenario where they're like, look, if we have to win this game by 6 touchdowns to make sure that they don't come back in the fourth quarter through some craziness. So that's why I like the spread. I think that if this thing is close, the Packers are in real trouble. And that's why I think that they're gonna do everything they can to not make it close.
Yeah, well, and the Lions are gonna do everything they can to keep it close or not make it close in the other direction. So I can say the same thing, but
I just know that the NFL is not doesn't give a rat's ass about the Lions. And
I don't think they're going to win.
Rodgers,
I have the Packers winning
in the playoffs.
Mason Crosby field goal walk off.
Oh, okay.
Into the playoffs.
All right.
3-point win. I cash this. You lose. I win the season. Packers get in. We both cash our playoff tickets that we put in when the Packers were 4-8, and we got them at plus 340 or whatever. And everybody is happy except Chad about this contest.
That's right. Well, look, you guys, you heard the case being made on both
No,
sides.
I get you, though.
So,
I get you.
So
it can
bet
go either way.
accordingly.
I agree with that.
Yeah, bet
but this to me just screams a closer game, a really hard fought, close game, 24-20, something like that. You know what I mean? Because look, the Lions offense, they're good enough to keep up no matter how good Aaron Rodgers is playing. And they're finally getting it together. So I got to admit that. Like, they're capable of putting up 35 again now. But the Lions, they've been putting up 35 all season. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it kind of wore off a little bit throughout the way, but they're capable of it. And we've seen it. And,
Packers
we'll
D's
see.
better, though. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I do agree. So, we shall see. But where the Lions have been struggling defensively lately is in the run game, and the Packers don't even want to think about giving the ball to Aaron Jones. So, I don't know. But I think it'll be a close game. I got Mason Crosby walk-off field goal for the win.
If that's what it takes, God help the Green Bay Packers. Because I still have a little bit in my craw from Mason Crosby back in that Bills game. All he had to do was hit that field goal to cover, and I would have cashed in the contest.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yep.
It was a 56-yarder, but still.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but I mean that's all you do, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You're a kicker.
Right. You have one job.
Put the ball through the damn.
That's right.
But real quick, I'll go over it again. I got the over 39.5 in the Titans-Jags game. Chad's taking the Steelers -2, not -2.5. And Chad's also taking the Packers -4.5. I'm taking the Lions +4.5. This game could very well decide this contest that we've been doing. And we'll keep running it into the playoffs. We might as well. But we'll at least have like our we'll have our regular season score.
We'll hit the reset button and we'll start a playoff version of this. Yeah.
Yep,
and then exactly. I think at that point, it's probably going to just be a pick 'em thing.
Pick your best things for the.
I'm not interested in doing spreads for the fucking playoffs. Like, at that point,
well, it depends what numbers they're giving me. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's playoff time. I'm just going like straight up like money line shit.
They give me anything higher than +3.5 on the Bucks on Brady.
Yeah, I feel you on that. That's not bad. Yeah, for sure.
Because he might end up being a dog, So because who's the 5 seed? The 5 seed. Oh yeah, they're going to be a dog. The 5 seed is going to be the Eagles. Yeah, but they're not playing anybody. I know. But they're going to be a dog in the playoffs next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're going to be playing the Eagles or the Cowboys. I might take them as a dog.
Yeah,
take the points. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out.
I remember back to week 1. Now, granted, it's a long time between then and now, but they beat the brakes off of the Cowboys 19-3. That's when Dak Prescott got hurt, but they were already getting their ass kicked before Prescott got hurt. And then that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team disappeared, and Cooper Rush made the Cowboys look like they couldn't lose. And so here we are now, and we're back. Everything has come back full circle. I would not be surprised at all if Brady as a dog beats either the Eagles or the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess I'll definitely be back tomorrow morning to talk about these Saturday games. We'll see if Chad wants to join or not.
Yeah.
We'll give some picks out tomorrow morning for Saturday, and then we'll do Sunday as always. So just like we did that the other day when they had the Saturday game. So, yep. Other than that, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace everybody.
Y'all.
Happy betting.
Yes.